Good evening, everyone. My name is Aja Monet. I'm a poet and writer from East New York, Brooklyn, and I decided to dedicate my poems to Brooklyn today. I'm gonna read one poem that I wrote specifically for this event. When I was looking up Elizabeth Cady Stanton and her work, I really started to think about the Black women and women of color in the women's suffrage movement and how little we know of them, how little I was taught in New York City public school about Black women, and it made me really sad, which means that I'm probably gonna end up dedicating an entire book of poetry to these women at some point, because their stories are so intricate. There's two women in particular that I want to acknowledge, and their names come up in this poem, which is Maricha Riemann Lyons, or I hope I'm saying that right, and Victoria Earl Matthews, who started a New York Women's Council and Brooklyn Council here, and made space for Ida B. Wells to be heard and received here when she came, and we weren't taught about these women. So I dedicate this to them, and thank you to Linton Smith, who's going to play with me. This poem is called The Sentiments of the Colored Women. Her eyes, a voice, of verses in a chapel songbook where women sorry stained sung of the ancient fight to love and be loved. Soft-hearted and peach tea dark, humanity minded led forward journeyed justice beyond the misery, suffering in secret, bearing burdens imposed by a nation that does not know it is white, enamored with us, a divine demand in ourselves to speak, listen for the silent ones breathing heavy, still a song sung. Mad women we were, treated as strangers among women pale as the pages we were written out of. She knows herself to be real, though imagined in the heart of a Black girl handcuffed and kicked around beneath a Brooklyn street lamp, something to hold onto, bloody and bruised by what they called in those days overseers. Except we were all women once, right? As they worked out their salvation, we were saving ours. Serene, savvy, and sassy, we busied our boys with brilliance. Ain't I beautiful, we would say, and you too, gathering sisters into a club of purring panthers. We were never here to sugar men or escort their humanity, but we hadn't the time to fight them while the lynch mob came for our skin. Freedom was a woman in a train car on a railroad in Memphis who refused to give up her seat 71 years before Rosa Parks. Freedom's name was Ida B. Wells, like Maricha Riemann Lyons, like Victoria Earl Matthews, like Harriet Fortin Purvis, Margaretta Fortin, like Marianne Shad Carey, like Mary Church Terrell, like Josephine St. Pierre Ruffin, like my sister Sojourner Truth. Freedom was so many of us, and sometimes we fought beside white women, ready to march in the suffrage parade, only to find freedom was segregated in a Negro section of a woman's demonstration, as if we all weren't already being shoved, spit at, and tripped. They mocked our movements. Spirit stared fair face in the face and fought beautiful spectacles we were, feeling our way through the right to rise, luminous and shine, shimmering in our shame, and exalted midwives of courage, yearning to be housewives. We worked and mothered the labor force of this country. For her, she who made a rally of the kitchen, protected the many mouths born to teach the laws. They have their laws, and we have ours. Reasoned by the moon, she cannot be denied, earth-toned and foreign frizzed. Her enemy isn't men. It is what can be found in them. Who are we but a faraway distance between man and everything else? We, the whisper of resilience, we. Who are we without the slavery? Who are we? Are we not drums, the noise of hearts beating? Are we not the music your feet can't help but dance to, the memory of breath, the emerald of ellipsis? We the women who conjured and escaped. Thanks, Linton. So I'm gonna end with this piece. Thank you for having me. Thank you to Tracy for organizing this and thinking of me. There's a lot of women stuff, so I'm gonna do this poem about Brooklyn, and it's called Give My Regards to Brooklyn, and hopefully I remember it. I think just because I'm a woman doing it, it's relevant, so. Yeah, this is for East New York, Brooklyn, my beloved home city that I can no longer afford to be in, which is crazy. On the humble, I be having these dreams where I'm people watching with Basquiat sitting on the curb on Bedford Ave, sipping piraguas, talking about never thought I'd live to see the day. Could have sworn I saw Otis Blackwell walking out the corner store in Atlantic Ave, smoking a Lucy, whistling a new tune for Elvis to cover. And it was gully right, cause I caught Biggie on a stoop in Bed-Stuy selling dope to a hipster with Ready to Die tatted across the pale of his arm. Hadn't seen a hoopty in a while when old dirty bastard pulled up, offered me a ride to the pink houses, and suddenly a handsome mocha man sitting on a nearby fire escape calls my name. I could tell it was Jackie by the Dodgers stitched across his chest. He told me, I miss home, and then it all fades to black. When I woke, the blue moon was sprawling out of its hiding place, limbs hanging over the shoulder of night after lovers had abandoned their bodies, laughing in the corners of each other. I was a full-tint lamppost staring at the sky's cheekbone, shy of stardust through the blinds of J-train tracks. This is how it feels to dream of being moonlight in East New York, a concrete plant collecting whispers of bodega blues. Darling sunrise tickles drumbeat hips swaying through the air of Sassoon. And I envy the morning swag. Boomboxes hold our windows open in July. We face our fears on the cyclone called romance, a stroll along the boardwalk in Coney Island. Head nods pay respect on beat, boys playing Scully in the street. We used to buy our kicks from City Line and roll a blunt for our fallen soldiers and spark a generation in love with spray cans and naked tenement buildings. Graffiti the spirits of hustlers with bubble letters. Mr. Softy Summers meant stealing Abuela Santo offerings for Tweety Bird on a popsicle stick, playing hopscotch on the broken sidewalk, eavesdropping on front stoop gossip, hair braiding, fingers dancing between strands of air. Brothers get caught in gangs, get caught in barbershops, get caught in street corners, get caught. Thrown against the hood of cop cars, seen one too many handcuffs on the wrists of brown and black skin. We dock slave ships on our shores daily. No Rikers Island like a country home. I'm convinced that my father conceived me in Kings County arraignments while daydreaming of freedom. I owe my life to the woman who stopped my mother on the B-56 on her way to the abortion clinic and told her, "You have a poet coming."